Chapter 30. The Moon Tree. A magic tree grew in northwest India. A wine with a narcotic effect was made. The yellow soma plant was plucked by moonlight and bathed in water and milk, becoming thereby identified with the yellow, swelling, and water-cleansed moon. One ate soma with the ritual words, swell and increase, becoming oneself the self of nourishment, free from all the warring opposites. Inspiration and ecstasy led to the final initiation through the moon into a higher consciousness. And this was to become like the goddess, to transcend death and be immortal, with the power to envision and create what had not been manifest before. Those who verily depart from the world to the moon, in truth they go. This verily is the door of the heavenly world. In the Hebrew Christian Garden of Eden, the human race is punished for desiring transcendent knowledge, sexual awareness, and immortality, for wanting to be like gods. In the much more ancient, original, and beautiful garden of the goddess, human beings are asked to participate in her immortality, to know and enjoy the ecstasy of divine oneness. That's what all the symbols are for, and that's what she gave us the natural hallucinations for wise use. The Great Mother, being truly original creatrix, is not threatened by human transcendence, ecstatic illumination, and full sexual consciousness. What genuine godhead could be threatened by such things? The new patriarchal deities of the Bronze Age, like Yahweh, as secular political usurpers of sacred power, need human beings to be under strict psychic control. As gods, they represented the new secular power elites who wanted to hoard the agriculturally created abundance of earth for themselves, for their ruling royal, priestly, and military classes. So they erected gods as police to uphold spiritual taboos, rationalizing the rule of the rich over enslaved many. Taboos designed to keep mortals from the sacred garden, to keep all humans from sharing in the earth abundance that once belonged to all, but now represented what must be called class wealth. This ruling elite created jealous gods who promised punishment to any mortals who tried, spiritually or physically, to share in the old epiphanies. These ruling class patriarchal religions no longer invite participation as did the mother goddess religions. Instead, they demand obedience, a fearful obedience which keeps human beings out of touch with our natural, transcendent centers and magical techniques. An unthinking and alienated obedience which keeps us dependent on their hierarchic logical punishment and reward systems for our lives. The only way any tyranny can maintain control over the human psyche is to set up a false god, a police god, which in the guise of religious morality interposes punitive and manipulative dualistic systems between our daily beings and the source of being. The cup of soma is also the mind, mens, mind, moon. It is mental perception and knowledge conveying the psychic cosmic inspiration of the moon. When the understanding of its own motion forms ideas within itself, it then comes to be called the mind. Through the loss of ego personal self-conscious control, one reaches the still center of the true self, spiraling the body psyche through the sexual rite, ecstatic dance, and the drinking of soma. One reaches the still center of it all. Soma is distilled from the primordial waters and is the dark fruit of the moon tree. Soma is the mind fruit of the spine tree, coming from the dark moon from Cybele, Hecate, Kundalini, Kali, Kotalaku. Soma gives visions, but also madness. Lunacy, as it came to be called by the culture of Solacy. Moon is the magic powers, the mind, manas, inspiration, the ecstatic dance. Being a moon force is double-edged, like the double-axe labries that can spin in either direction, like the moon wheel. Its spiraling gives knowledge and energy for both creation and destruction. The moon tree is the place of generation, the place of the dead, the place of regeneration, the spine. Spirit is the fruit, daughter, son of the maternal tree. Kundalini, the vital serpent, the world mother, is an electromagnetic force. The fiery breath of the dragon is an actual power, which when roused into action can easily destroy as it can create. What is true of any natural power? Lightning, fire, water, and wind is also true of spiritual power. Great energy is also great danger. Within the goddess, everything is real. Spirit and matter are equally potent forces, and their intertwining is constantly magic, constantly real. By separating spirit and matter, patriarchal ideology has reduced physical existence to a mere observable mechanism, so called practical reality, while spiritual existence is discarded or abstracted into the imagination or the ideal. Or, as in the Apollonian solar cults and in theological tendencies of Buddhism, Judaism, Islam, and Christianity, spirit becomes sheer being, or pure existence in eternity, or absolutely good, or some other intellectual abstraction, wholly unrooted in cosmic process, wholly extracted from life like some sublime tooth. Spirit in matriarchal religion does not negate its bond with the mother. It is generated out of the living process in time and space. She creates, dissolves, and transforms herself as she goes. Spirit and matter spiraling together are both herself and equally real. And this is the spiritual reality of evolution, in which matter creates itself into consciousness as spirit consciousness has created itself into matter. Women were everywhere, the original mantics, the shamans, the ecstatic oracular prophets, the visionary poets. Mantism is the natural art of prophesizing, divining, receiving, channeling, biologic, energetic, from the earth and from the moon. This is woman's original and organic province. The moon fruit is the highest transformation form of the earth seed, the place of physical rebirth, sublimated seed, integrated power, all which technique, all pagan orientation was a biomystical discipline designed to help the individual and the group channel and direct the real power of the universe, radiating into and from all of us. Women were the first bearers of this technique, since it emanates from our own bodies and psychic processes. Women are tied directly to the mantric moon by both a mental and a blood cord. Even after the Apollo cult took over the shrine at Delphi and declared that God was henceforth the sun, the resident mantic remained a woman, the Sibyl. The woman inspired only at night by moonlight. Shamanism, inspiration, mysteries of drunken madness, ecstasy, leading to the expansions of consciousness. These are the transformative processes of the goddess. They are often called quite dangerous. The patriarchy has forbidden, outlawed, repressed these activities for millennia for political reasons, while claiming to protect us from the dark moon, the destructive edge of the crescent axe. It also prevents us from making contact with the creative powers of the moon mother. The dark side is real. Spiritual and psychic death from the drinking of soma. Poisoning, loss of ego, negative orgiastic rites, extinction and madness, experience of dissolution, rejection, utter deprivation of the death mysteries of the terrible mother, all are real. As Inanna Ishtar was hung up on the nail in hell by Ereshkigal, the withered death goddess, and this is the importance of the ancient symbols, myths, techniques, all of the rites of initiation of occult doctrines. They can help one get through the danger center of the spiral and emerge transformed on the other side. They help turn personal psychosis into sacred transformation. It is precisely at the extreme negative point in the dark moon turns, the shifts into the opposite pole of ecstasy and illumination. It is at this point that the moon journey can lead either to madness or a luminous experience of immortality. At the fusion of the doable spiral, there is a vortex and winds of dissolution. Beyond is the small center and the bliss of union. Transcending the opposites, one can experience the shift from one pole to the other and contain within consciousness an active understanding of this process. And this constitutes the core teaching of the ancient mysteries. As has been said many times, without the devil, there is no Christianity. Without the good God forever at one pole and the bad devil forever at the other, the human mind under Christianity is locked forever into a battlefield of dualistic antagonisms, with no hope of transcendence, i.e., no hope of maturity. The Christian mind remains undeveloped, eternal spectator at the cosmic football game between heaven and hell, good and evil, defined as two irreconcilable teams. One must win, one must lose, and the spectator never knows wholeness. The forbidden fruit of the moon tree gives knowledge of the paradox of good and evil, life and death, a mature knowledge of this reconciliation of opposites in the experience of cosmic oneness. If human beings eat this fruit, patriarchal religion is out of business. The world free of psychic alienation would need no Christian salvation or salvation of any kind. When dualistic opposites are allowed to fuse in the mind, the psyche saves itself. The moon tree, like all symbols of the great goddess, is double-sided, i.e., double axe, double spiral. The moon wheel spinning right and left, the lunar horns of the cows, waxing and waning, the gate or doorway, womb and tomb, where one enters and leaves, is born into and dies out of. And so the moon tree is double-edged, with roots in both earth and sky, branches in both sky and earth. But this symbolism is not dualistic. The moon mother is a triple goddess, and her symbols have a triple aspect. For in each of the two polar sides are joined at the center, joined by her body, the trunk of the tree, the handle of the double axe, the center of the hub of the wheel, and still center of the spiral, the cow who bears the crescent horns, the spare and the lintel stone itself joining in directions of the doorway. It is the mother goddess who stands herself in the center and joins the opposites in her being. As the third and magic evolutionary term of the triplicity, she mothers the opposites, good and evil, both born of her. There can be no psychic alienation. There can only be understanding and a will to evolve. All through the Neolithic, the matriarchal consciousness in both women and men was still open to the process of the self, called by Jungians as the unconscious, and therefore to psychic wholeness. Soma was brewed in the cauldron of inspiration and regeneration, the sacrificial cauldron of the Great Mother. The cauldron, like the other symbols, is the mother's body. It received the ritually spilled blood of the death, but also produced the drink of immortality. In the form of the crucible, it was inherited by the alchemists, and its base metals were changed into gold, matter into spirit, mortal into immortal. This mother pot appears among early European pagans as the great Celtic cauldron of inspiration, the cauldron of Cerwidian, central to the later Druidic belief and practice. In early Christianity mingled with the medieval pagan iconography. It is the chalice of the Last Supper, the Holy Grail containing the blood of Christ, i.e., the blood of the mother's sacrificed son. It also appears as the suit of cups of the tarot cards. Isis and her priestess carried a musical instrument called the sistrum. Legendarily, it contained the four elements of the universe: earth, air, fire, water. Each is the opposite of the other, and they are all resolved into harmony within the body of the sistrum. Nature is released by the movement of Isis, vibrated into music and vision. The roses of Isis are pure passion, loved redeemed from the lust by the energy of understanding. I am she of 10,000 names. I am all that has been and is and shall be, and no mortal has ever revealed my robe. The robe of Isis is the multicolored veil of nature which hides the mystery of truth from uninitiated human eyes. The sons, lovers of the goddess Dionysus Isis, willingly, but even Buddha Christ against their will are the same. The goddess of Crete wears 3 opium poppy seeds on her head, and Buddhists twirl the wheel chakra to achieve inspiration and luminous integration. All this churning of the cosmic ocean finally produces the magic drink of Soma, the moon fruit, the mind.